Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Hey, yes. Another beautiful day in the ATL. I am your host, LA. This is another episode of The Bases Are Loaded, baby. And boy, we got some loaded stuff. We're going to talk about some stuff today. We're going to get down to the NFL draft. We're going to get down to the NBA and all the shenanigans that are going on in there. Then a little bit of Major League Baseball. Eventually, we're going to start talking about hockey. That's right. I got to get a hockey hat. And if you guys want to donate, yeah, hey, send. All you got to do is subscribe, like, and you'll see how to do that. Send me a hockey hat if you're a hockey fan. We're going to start getting into hockey because hockey is starting to get really, really interesting. My Rangers and the New York Islanders. Hey, we are doing this thing. Used to say we had the Atlanta Thrashers, but I guess they decided, Rankin Smith, and decided that they were going to just sell them off. But, hey, we're getting into more things that are happening in sports. Right now, you know what we're getting ready to do. You know how we starting this thing off. That's right. They're playing basketball. We love that basketball. That's right. The NBA playoff action. Yes, it's been underway. It's been going. And if you've been living on a rock or you just don't like sports, okay, you've had some intertwinings, some dealings with what's going on in the NBA, the National Basketball Association, which some would say the acronym stands for Never Broke Again, because they got some serious salaries in there, okay? Hey, Atlanta, kudos to you guys. Hey, get a ding. If you didn't know this, Atlanta, you guys have your native son is the highest paid basketball player, $300 million. Jaylen Brown doing his thing. Boston Celtics, they are taking care of business. Jimmy Butler, yeah, I love you, Jimmy. But if you're going to talk smack when you're out there on the court, brother. You got to be in the parquet if you don't want to get laid. Because I promise you, that was nest in a parlay, how they beat the crap out of y'all after Jimmy Butler got up on national television and said he don't want to hear nothing about the Boston Celtics and how great they are. They've got to go through us. And, brother, let's just say, they didn't go through you. They went blasting, annihilating, whatever word you want to say to just put it in layman's terms. They whipped y'all butts, bro. I wanted to say the other word, but I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm trying to keep it actually G, okay? Yeah, that's right, Mike Lowry. We keep things G-rated around here, but eventually, hey, in future shows, I might just say some words like they say on, some of those guys on ESPN say, that's just how regular people really do talk in the real world. But yeah, with that said, Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Lee, did they need you? Yes, they did. The Boston Celtics have the last 3 games after Jimmy Butler ran his mouth, I should say, in ubiquitous terms. Jimmy, you really sparked them brothers because the last 3 games after you did speak up, they averaged beating you guys a definite margin was about 30 points each time. And they didn't hurt, and they didn't relent last night. That's right. There's a word, folks. That's right. We do things on a 3U basis on this show. That's right. It is undeniable, unrelenting, and unapologetic. It is never in that order. So I'm not going to be apologetic about what Jimmy, get ready to play, brother. Don't know if we're going to talk about some free agency going on later in the show. But right now, I call it the COL. That's right. Call. Clean out your lockers. That's right. Let's see. The first team to clean out their lockers was the Phoenix Suns. They were swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves, who took care of business in 4 games. Next to go down was, to my chagrin, the LA Lakers. That was my go-to team because, my Knicks, I got a wing and a prayer, okay? But the Lakers, I'm Team LeBron. LeBron, you're trying to get that illustrious number 5. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be alive for you. I promise you. You're going to have to get some people that's going to really play, and you're going to get a number of guys that are going to assemble themselves that can acquiesce and play basketball the same way that you play it, on that level, taking care of your body, your soul, and mind, and all that other stuff that comes along with it, okay? I can assure you that without any further ado, you're going to have to get some help, brother, because AD, wow, hey, let's give AD a ding. AD played 65 games this year. Can you believe that? Charles Barkley, where you at? Charles, you can't. I think you have to come up with a new nickname for AD. Street clothes, which I indelibly love a little bit. Street clothes. Man, he actually was in those games. And he wasn't just showing up for the games. He was averaging 28 and 10 this year. So guess what? What's the problem in LA? We'll talk about that later on in these shows coming, okay? But they had to clean out the lockers. ESPN has, TNT, the Barclays, of course, and all those guys, they have a little thing called going fishing. Well, I call it COL, clean out your lockers, okay? Because you got to clean out your lockers, Lakers. You were beat. Those Denver Nuggets have your number. They have only beaten the Denver Nuggets, folks, get this, one time in 21 tries. And it just happened so that it was in the playoffs. And they look like, and here's the other thing. Oh, goodness gracious. This is what would keep me up at night, especially LeBron. I know how you're feeling, brother. That's the reason why people were talking about him, saying they've never seen him cry as much. They know he was a crybaby, but they've never seen him cry as much. It's because the man is tired. He's tired of having to cry. Because when you look at the differentiation and the margin of the numbers of wins that they have versus how many times they were up, folks, just about every game the Lakers were up by double digits. They should have won each time. And for some reason, something happens in the fourth quarter, whether it be the Joker or whether it be Murray. One of those guys step up and they just start showing out, okay? But nevertheless, they are COL, cleaning out their lockers. Also, Miami Heat. Well, we already talked about you guys. You cleaning out your lockers because Boston beat you guys 4-1. And the Phoenix Suns were the first ones. They were swept by the Timberwolves. And also was swept OKC, the OKC Thunder. Boy, do you guys remember when they first started? If you're old enough to remember, they had the big three. They really had the big three back in the day. They had Kevin Durant. They had, of course, my man Westbrook and James Harden. Listen, folks, how good that team was. All three of those guys have been MVPs of the NBA. And they dispersed that team. They dissected that team. Those guys went on elsewhere. And only one of them, to a lot of people's dismay, and he took a lot of flack for it, because the team that he had when he was up 3-0 up to the Warriors, he ended up going and playing with them the next year, and that was Kevin Durant. Okay, he's the only one that's got a ring. He's actually, matter of fact, he's got 2 rings with the Warriors. So, hey, it just shows you how good OKC hasn't been, since that time, because that's been almost 10 years ago, folks. And the OKC Thunder not only showed up, they showed out. They took care of the Pelicans. Of course, their Zion Williamson, he was pretty much like he normally is, talking about street clothes. But he slimmed down, he trimmed up in his body, and he's trying to get back there. And I'm pretty sure they got a young team, so they're going to be formidable next year. All right, well, let's talk about the ones that are still in there, okay? The Mavs and the Clippers. The Mavs and the Clippers right now, they're going down toe-to-toe. But the Mavs are just playing lights out with Luka Doncic and, of course, Kyrie Irving. You don't know which one of them is going to show up on any given night. Luka Doncic the other night, they took care of business, 123-93. Luka had 35 points. And against, of course, Paul George, to their dismay, he had 15 points, 15 field goals. He's 4 for 15 on the field goals with him. He was also 5 for 6 on the free throws, but that wasn't enough, okay? But coming and rounding up for the rest of the series coming up, for that you guys know what's going on right now, the Bucks and the Pacers are going to square off again. The Pacers are leading 3-2 against the Milwaukee Bucks, previous champions 2 years ago. One would say and surmise that because of Giannis and, of course, of Damian Lillard, Dame Time, those guys have not been available for the last three games. Actually, only one of them that Damian was able to play, but he tweaked his shoulder again. So, but I tell you what, folks, here it comes. It's been speculated. Milwaukee Bucks. Fear of the deer. Because guess what's happening? Around 6:30 tonight, those two guys might be on that parquet to play with their team. And even though the Pacers have been the number one scoring unit in the NBA this year, that's still going to be a formidable task with those two amazing dynamic players, those two superstars coming and teaming up. It's going to be something to behold. We'll see how it goes. That game's going to start at 6:30 tonight. And my Knicks. Woo! Knicks. Lord have mercy. My Knicks. The New York Knickerbockers have not won on their home floor a playoff closeout game in 24 years. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but it's almost, that's all right. Mike Lowry, you thought I was going to say it, didn't you? But it's been a long time. It's a long time coming. And sure enough, we squared up against those 76ers the other night. Folks, we were up with in regulation, up 6 points with 21 seconds to go. I saw people that were some of the 76ers fans headed for the rafters, headed out, getting ready to go home. And sure enough, they should have told Tyrese Maxey. Because, woo! Talk about revenge. Give that brother a cigar. This young brother started going ham. Okay? He scored 4 points in 2 seconds because somebody, we'll name him nameless, decided they wanted to bump into him when he's going for a 4-point shot. And you know how fast this kid is. Why they did not foul, nobody has any idea. And then Mr. Hart, Corey, you got, bro, in the playoffs, got to make those free throws. That's why they're free. You got to make them, because I can assure you folks, if you sit down and you watch basketball, and you watch basketball as intently as I might, I promise you, if you dissect the game, missing those field goals that are called free throws are just as deadly as when you're watching football and a guy gets up there and misses a would-be field goal. Somehow, somewhere in your calculations during the annals of that game, you can always attribute it back to those missed opportunities to score. And the Knicks did just that. We ended up going into overtime, went up 5 points. Mike Lowry, Mike D, what is going on, brother? I know that's your team, 76ers. You was praying for them that night, Mike D. You really were playing. Okay, I'm praying and playing. You must have jumped up in there and gave them some kind of gossamer wings, because we went up on them 5 points in the overtime, and we still ended up losing that game because Tyrese Maxey could not be denied. Okay, but we got to see if we can revamp that and reassess that loss. I hope, because we're going into Philly. Yes, Philadelphia, brotherly love. Get ready. I know that you guys are trying to buy out all the seats. I've heard it. Dr. J, you stop that mess. You know, you're from New York, brother. You're supposed to be rooting for the Knicks, even though I know that's who paid you. I can't blame you, though. Can't blame you. But, man, it's going to be fun, because your daddy can't get none, because I promise you tonight, they done moved the game back to 9 o'clock. So prime time will actually be able to show this game without any interruptions from any commercials and all that other stuff that goes along with production. Okay? That thing is coming on at 9 p.m. So get ready. My Knicks, we're here. Now let's play like we're here. Let's go ahead and take those guys on out. We don't need to get a game 7, Again, of course, the Knicks are up 3-2. They can close this thing out tonight. I hope and pray we do. All right. Game 6 for the Clippers and the Mavs are going to be coming up this week, probably on Friday around 7 p.m. Game 1 for the conference semifinals were the Timberwolves, who I told you they swept, versus the Nuggets, who took care, of course, the LA Lakers. That game is going to start on Saturday, May 4th, probably around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so you guys get ready. So let's talk about this basketball stuff a little bit, folks. What's going to happen with these free agencies with KD and LeBron? Send me a message to let me know who you think, where you think, how you think. Is LeBron going to stay a Laker? Laker fans, lend me your ear. Let me know. Send me a shout out. I want to hear from you. I told you, I need to know. Because when you know and I know, we all knew better. Okay, and we do better. But I know one thing, LeBron is due $55 million bonus if he stays. He's already making almost $50 million a year, folks. Imagine what that salary is going to have to be like to keep him there in his free agency. Now, it's been uttered by Stephen A. Smith. Should I sufficiently say if he would come join us in the Madison to the city of Gotham? Boy, you understand what that man would be? That he left from LA to come to New York and play for the Knicks, Madison Square Garden, baby, and team up with Brunson. Oh my goodness, that would be something to behold. But anyway, let me know what you think, folks. Knicks fans, stand up. Let me know how good that would be, okay? Now, KD, Kevin Durant has been known to move around, shuffle around. He moves around teams. As a matter of fact, Kevin, just 2 years ago, Kevin Durant started out a Brooklyn Net, and probably before you could sneeze and go to the bathroom and wipe your nose back, I promise you, he was on another team playing for the Phoenix Suns out in Arizona, baby. He does not mind switching teams. That man changes teams like he changes socks, okay? So we'll see what he does. And also the Warriors. We have no idea if we've seen the last of Clay. Might have seen the last of Draymond. Curry, no. Curry's not going nowhere. I can assure you. He will retire a Warrior. If anybody is going to retire a Warrior, it's going to be Stephen Curry. Okay? Because he is the lineage. He's the heart and soul of that team. Well, actually, he's not the heart and soul of the team. One would surmise is actually Draymond Green if he stopped acting a fool. But he is the face of that franchise. So I don't see him going anywhere. Clay, hey, you never know. Clay might, if LeBron stays, Clay might hang out. He might change that he'll keep that color of gold and just go down the road a little bit, go down, down I-10 and join the Lakers. What do you think about that? Let me know what you think about that, folks. Send me a message. Let me know who you think and where you think and how you think these guys are going to end up. It's going to be fun the offseason, all right? Well, let's see if we can keep the playoff season going, because we don't know how that's going to pan out at all. I can assure you. We have no idea what's getting ready to happen. And you know what? That's what we love about sports, folks. It's that unknowing. Because you can't make this stuff up. You can sometimes. Some would surmise that some of it is, a little drama that goes on there. But it's the unmitigated, unequivocal process of drama that mama don't know. And that's why we watch, baby. Hey, are you liking The Bases Are Loaded? Do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button and tell some more people about me. It keeps me coming and keeps you happy and keeps me smiling. Thank you. Switching it up, we're going to start talking about this the National Football League. Guess what? That's right. Last week, it was, the draft, baby. The NFL draft. And as we thought, Jaden Daniels, okay, as well as Caleb Williams, We probably knew. We just didn't know which were they gonna flip flop between number 1 and number 2. Number 1, congratulations, Caleb. All right, he's gone to the Bears. He's going to the Chicago Bears to see if they can put them back into the winning culture that they had. Jaden Daniels to those Washington. I have a hard time saying Washington Commanders. I'm not gonna say that other skin thing because I just thought that was an atrocity. Okay, for what 35, 40 years they were named that. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Okay, I got Native American blood. I got Indian in my family. Didn't think that was cool. Not at all. But you know what? Still watched. Okay, but Jaden Daniels going to those Washington Commanders. Drake May, number 3 pick. North Carolina, coming out of North Carolina. He's going to, guess who? Those New England Patriots. But he's probably going to have to sit a year, okay? Because he's not ready yet. He's going to learn that offense. That offense is pretty intense, okay, over there. Marvin Harrison Jr. Hey, that's his dad. Hall of Famer. Coming out of Utah. Okay? Well, actually, excuse me, I said it wrong. The Indianapolis Colts played with his dad, played, of course, with Peyton Manning, made him a superstar. Okay? He's going to he's coming out of Ohio State, but he's going to those Cardinals. All right? I don't know who the quarterback is over there now. I really don't because they shuffle it around. Joe Alt was the next from Notre Dame. He's an O-line tackle. That's one of the few offenses, that's what they were doing. This was an offensive first-round draft. Okay, that's what was going on. Malik Neighbors, wide receiver from LSU. Congratulations, you're going to my Giants. Even though I don't know who's going to throw to you. I guess Daniel Jones might make it. I don't know. We'll see. J.C. Latham from Alabama. And, of course, Michael Penix. Got to give him way to go, Atlanta. Way to go. Let me know what you think in the comments, folks. Atlanta fans especially. Everybody's talking about that. But when I got it through the grapevines and I saw the ticker that they could possibly pick him and not pick some defense, like everybody was there talking about, we need to get some more fun, to get some tackles so we can rush him, get an edge rusher. We need to, blah. Guess what? Kirk Cousins, they put you on notice, brother. Coming in here with one playoff win. They paid you all that money for one playoff win. One. Okay? Playoff win. Who does that? That's what I was talking about, Falcons. That's what you should have been upset about. But y'all got caught up in the frenzy of you need another quarterback. You need to replace Matty Ice. Okay? But it ain't entice. But when you just signed Michael Penix, any of you who are questioning Michael Penix's ability, I need you to go and just pull him up on YouTube and look at those games. Look at that arm strength. Look at his accuracy. And look at his ability to move, even after an ACL tear. Same thing that happened with Mr. Kirk Cousins. Except it didn't happen as many times. Okay? So, guess what? Falcons, fans, as you guys say, rise up. I really do believe that that's going to pay great dividends for you. If you're not questioning it, send me a message. I want to know. Let me know if you hate it. Because, hey, I told you, when you hate me, you make me great me. Let me know what you're thinking about that, Falcon fans. Because I think it's a great move, okay? I really do. All right? Rounding off, like I'm telling you guys about the top 10 here, okay? The number 8 was, of course, Michael Penix. Rome Odunze. That's who he used to throw that ball to. He's going to the Bears. So the Bears are going to have some serious offense going next year, okay? We're going to see how that pans out for you guys. And like I said, I want to know what you guys think about. Honorable mention, Keon Coleman, FSU. Hey, Keon, way to go. He's going to be going over to that gunslinger up there in Buffalo, all right? They had to replace your boy, Mr. Diggs. They had to replace him. I think they did pretty good. Because Keon, for those of you Buffalo fans that don't know about Keon, because you're up there in that frozen tundra, look him up on YouTube. Look how that young man catches that ball and what he does with that ball after he catches it. Okay? I think you guys did pretty good. All right, and that's pretty much where it's gone with the draft. And I can assure you, for all the second rounders, the Falcons, you guys got your couple of defensive players on there. Hey man, you guys are looking really, really good. You got a new GM, you got a new head coach, you got a new quarterback, you got two new quarterbacks. So guess what? You gonna have a nice little quarterback competition coming up pretty soon. I'm sorry. That kid is formidable, and he's going to show it, and he's going to show out and show up for the Falcons. Watch it. Mark my words. I told you this on April. Actually, no. What's my bad, Mike Larry? I'm getting old. This is May the 2nd, baby. All right? Mark my words. LA told you this. On the bases are loaded. You guys are going to send me messages telling me thank you. Yeah, we love you. Exactly. Don't hate me. Don't make me grate me. All right? All right, let's switch it up. Let's go to Major League Baseball. Woo! Boy, I tell you, it's getting tight already. The season just began. My Yankees, last time I did the show, folks, the Yankees were up. Now, they just got spanked today against the Orioles. It's something about those Orioles. As of late, they're becoming one of our nemesis. I don't know why that is. They went from worst to first last year. For some reason, the Baltimore Orioles are really playing well. And guess what they did? They just took over first place against us today. They're 19 and they're actually 20 and 11. We're 20 and 13. The Red Sox are 18 and 13. This is all in the AM East, folks. The Blue Jays are 15 and 17. The Rays 14 and 18. And the of course American League of Central, those Guardians, another team that had an Indian in their name. Okay, glad you changed it. The Guardians now are playing some great baseball out there in Cleveland, the land. They are 20 and 10. The Royals right now are right behind them at 19 and 13. The Tigers, those Detroit Tigers, Motown. Okay, the Tigers are right there in the mix, 18 and 13. Twins right there with them. Everybody's in there except for the White Sox. The White Sox are bringing up the rear at 6-25. Okay, let's talk about you guys. You know who we got to talk about. We got to talk about those Braves, baby. We got to talk about them Bravos. Them Bravos are still in first place. Remember when my man Shaheed said getting more hits than the Braves and the Yankees? He wasn't kidding, okay? Because the Yankees are getting hits, but they didn't do too good today. But the Braves are doing their thing. With Ronald Acuna, you guys are still doing your thing. Your pitchers are great. You got a great pitching staff over there, too, this year, Braves. You should be really, 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 really good throughout the rest of the season. Long season, folks. Mind you, we just started 22 games, folks. We got it's 163 games to go. All right, right now the Braves are at 20 and 9. Like I said, they're in first place out in the National League East. Right behind them is the Phillies. Even though they won more games, they've lost one more than the Braves. They're right on your heels, though, Braves. Get ready. The Mets are not too far back. They're 5 games back right now at 16 and 15. The Nationals, the Washington Nationals are 15 and 15, and the Marlins are bringing up the rear. And the Central, that is the National League Central, that's going to be the Brewers. They're in first place at 19 and 11. The Cubs, Chicago Cubs, 19 and 13. They're starting to pick it up. They've got a pretty good team this year. They've got some sluggers on that team that are going to be formidable throughout the rest of the season. The Reds are a little bit behind you guys and the Cubs at 16 and 15. The Cincinnati Reds, those St. Louis Cardinals are right there in the mix as well. They're losing a little bit. They're losing because they've just lost their last 4 games. They're down to 14 and 17 along with the Pirates. The Pirates were starting out gangbusting, but right now they are sitting last in the Central. Of course, the National League West, the Dodgers, they're number 1, of course, 20 and 13. No surprise there. Padres right behind them. They're about 4 games back, though. They're 16 and 18 right now. The Giants, those San Francisco Giants, baseball Giants, folks, baseball Giants. Don't confuse them with the football Giants. And they are 15 and 17. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, who were formidable last year, they, of course, ended up playing, of course, the Texas Rangers. But they are not doing that well this year. They lost a couple of their pitchers to free agency. A lot of people say free agency ruins the games. But guess what? It's about that money. Because people want to get paid in this era, baby. Rounded out at the bottom is, of course, those Rockies at 7-24. Now, if you're baseball fans, and if you notice, if you're not, I can tell you folks, baseball has gotten a lot better. They have what's called a pitching clock. Okay, that pitcher can no longer sit there and tug and spit and pee and go to tell his mama he ain't pitching well no more. No, you've got 10 seconds to make a pitch. So guess what that's doing? By the time you guys go to the bathroom, get a hot dog, get your Coke, get your beer, whatever it is you do that's near. When you go to those games, the game is almost over. You right back in your car, getting back in that traffic. So guess what? Baseball fans, get live because baseball is on the way. It's underway. Like I said, the hockey, we're going to talk about hockey probably next week because it's getting kind of close to getting to, of course, going the chasing of that Stanley Cup, that electric Stanley Cup. And I'm going to tell you guys next week about that Stanley Cup that you're going to be shocked and didn't know. Okay? Now, right now, it's time for You Know You Got It. LA's Gripes. That's right. I said it. I got a gripe. I'm going to have one probably each week because I know you are just like me. There are just some things that happen in livelihood. I told you we cover everything on this show. We cover sports, we cover entertainment, and we cover current events. And I can tell you right now, currently, I got a gripe with Walmart. Yes. Wally World. But whatever you guys, colloquialism that you call it, the massive retailer for the last 30 years, Sam Walton's baby. He's got his babies running it. And I really want them to think about this, and I hope this gets back to you quickly. Tell me, why is it that I can walk into any Walmart right now and go over to the sports section because I'm a sports kind of guy. As you can see, I've got on some sports stuff. I switch it up every now and then. Okay? Of course, I'm going to come dressed appropriately. I like to do so sometimes. You might catch me in a shirt and tie. Who knows? But for the most part, in my leisure, I like to wear sports clothes. Did you know that Reebok has a contract with Walmart? Yes, folks. If you've ever been a fan of Walmart, of course, of Reebok, guess what? Go to Walmart. Yes, they've got Walmart prices, Mike Lowry. Walmart prices. When I tell you, I'm looking at my producer right now, he's a sports kind of guy too. And whether or not he likes Reebok, he's going to go in there. And if you go in there, I promise you, you're going to see an outfit that you would not mind wearing because they are color coordinated. They got all of the colors. They got the polos. They got all the nice sweats. They got the traits. I'm trying to tell you folks, they got it all except for one. I almost said the D word. I'm going to say dang. How about that? Grandma, I'm all right with that one, right? Okay? One dang thing. I don't know about y'all, but when I coordinate, I like to coordinate. Okay? I coordinate. I'm not one that's going to put on a top and a bottom and my shoes don't match. Walmart, what's up with no Reebok shoes in the doggone joint? Do you have a contract with Kenny, okay, who owns Foot Locker? So what you're telling me is that I can go there and I can get a top and a bottom and probably a jacket to go along with it, and I'm going to pay less than $50 for probably all three, but I got to go and buy some $250 sneakers, because you know if you had sneakers in there, you'd have to discount the price too, like you got, because you guys are a discount retailer. What's up with that, folks? Watch. I promise you, those of you who are watching my show and they're going to watch the show, you're going to go to Walmart, you're like, you know what? LA told us that they got some smooth gear in Walmart. Reebok is doing this thing. But when you go to try and find the sneakers to match it, good luck. Not cool, Walmart. You get that's what you get, kind of ding. Not cool. Now, with that said, let's talk about the best thing and the best happenings in sports. Guess what, folks? To my smile, you see smile now, no more gripe. To a smile and thank the heaven above. Man, I gotta say it. I'm sorry. I gotta say thank you, Jesus, too, because this young man did thank Jesus. He actually thanked Jesus Christ for allowing him to play football at the level that he was playing after he on 11:18 around 8 o'clock in the evening, 8:30 in the evening, Jordan Travis, playing North Alabama, not only broke his ankle, it almost split in two, folks. It was bleeding. It was a gruesome, gruesome, gruesome scene. In it so much as the team of the other team were just flabbergasted at how that injury, and all he was doing was running. And that's the reason why they're talking about stopping that barrel roll, switching those hips, and trying to bring somebody down. If you're not fast enough to catch him, let him go. They're doing that in the NFL, but that's all right, because that's where my man is headed. Jordan, congratulations, brother. Because on around 9 o'clock on 4/26, 2024, my man Jordan Travis was drafted by the New York Jets, baby. I am so happy, so proud of you. FSU, stand up. Ayo, ayo. Boy, that made my day. Do you hear me? Because you're talking about one of the nicest young men that you will ever see, and also had built himself up as well as became. He was also, folks, did you know he was a Heisman Trophy? He would have been a finalist. His numbers said so. But he did it 3 games in. Broke that leg. And modern medicine, along with the heavens, along with the Father, the Son, and of course, that Holy Spirit got with him, because that's what that man talks about. You ain't going to hear him not talk about that, and it's all right. Don't matter whether you believe, if you don't. It's okay. Got to believe in something. Well, he just happens to believe in the higher powers and the powers that be. All right? And I am so happy for you, Jordan. Man, I hope you have the best rookie season you ever could have had, learning and honing and grasping, and eventually you're going to get that shot that nobody probably would have even thought about that night, that gruesome night that you turned your ankle going the other way. Okay? So proud, so happy, so glad for you. Great things are coming to you. And with that said, folks, if you don't believe in something, believe in everything about yourself, because that's what you're going to have to do to convince. And with that said, too, Lupus Foundation, stand up. We had a great walk last week. Yes, I was one of the hosts and one of the MCs. I totally enjoyed being out there with some of my friends and family members that also have been affected by this dreaded disease called lupus. You guys can donate at any time to GeorgiaLupusFoundation.com. And we definitely look forward to you guys walking with us next April, and just get ready for it. You can donate at any time, and you can of course create your own, folks. And because I promise you, folks, you know someone that has lupus. Okay. And with that said, we're going to sign off with it at this time in this show. And I thank you for viewing. I thank you for tuning in. I really love you guys. I love you back. And I tell you, let's keep it going. Sports is just entertainment, but at the same time, you can be entertained too. And don't forget to vote. And you'll hear me say that. God bless everybody. Hello, and thank you for watching Bases Are Loaded. This show is brought to you by Hot and Saucy, flavor over heat.